Hi everybody, I hope you're alright. First of all, I know I've been absent so much from here and from my blog. I had such good intentions this year, but life throws things at you, and I've had facial surgery. So, not a nose job, I'm not that lucky, but yeah, so that's held me back a little bit. I try, but life gets in the way. So what I've been doing outside of my class, I've been piecing some white, okay, and embroidering it. Now I've marked off on this piece of fabric 4 8-inch squares with enough room in between them for seam allowances, etc. And I pieced one the other day, which is here. I'm going to make pillows with these 8-inch pillows. White on white, although to be fair there's a bit of blue there, but it's kind of a very pale blue and it complements the white, I think. So what I want to do with you today is begin to piece another one, because I have to say this process can take an hour, sometimes even more, because you're testing, you're placing, you're looking, you pin something down, you cut another piece of something else to put down, you do 4 pieces, you get quite far with your composition, then you change your mind because you find something else. This is me I'm talking about. You find something else, so you move stuff and you put something else down. So it's not a quick process. So I don't know how far we'll get today, but if I just start the process, then you'll get an idea of what's happening and what goes on with this kind of work. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Anyway, it'll come to me. So this is just a couple I've pulled out now of white on white things I've made in the past. These are pouches. So a lot of it's vintage. This is a vintage edge of something. It's got a buttonhole in it. And this is the other edge with the button's there, okay. And I filled it with Suffolk puffs, and then I've handmade all those little ball buttons, a vintage trim, bullion loops, a bit of an old vintage piece of cloth, and just some Suffolk puffs on the back. Okay, I keep something in here. What's in it? I don't even know what's in it. That's how long it is since I've seen it. Oh, it's a book. It's a little book. Okay. Just a little book. Now, do you know something as well? Every time I make a video and I get these things out, I want to make another one. Like, I already want to make more buttons. Not enough hours in the day. So yeah, so that's what's in there. Keeping it safe, allegedly. Don't know why that's in there. Oh, that might have fell off there. That's probably fell off there. Yeah. So that's what's in there with a little wraparound thing to keep it closed. Honestly, I've got so much stuff in this house. So that lives in there. So that's that one that I made quite recently. And this is another one I've recently made in class. So mostly vintage, but broderie on glaze, vintage trims, bullion knots, a bit of gimp, found fabric, that's new fabric, little pocket there, prairie points, I love prairie points, and on the back just more attached fabric, some vintage, some not, some ribbon here, a little bit of weave in there actually, with a little bit of ribbon, some padded applique. So yeah, so I mean I do like white, and occasionally, well sometimes I think I really need to work with white, so that's why I put these pillows together. So I'll get this over here. Now what I've got is a lot of boxes with vintage pieces in. I'm just going to press this before I put something on it. That little square. They're all marked out 8 inches. I don't know if you can see that, but round here there's thread marking out 8 inches. So I've got boxes everywhere like this with just loads of stuff in, loads of stuff. Now I've used this on the one I've done already, but I regret that already because it creases really easily and it's really creased on there, and even though it'll be damp stretched, that might not take the creases out of there. So what I'm going to have to do with that is try and embroider it to keep it flat to minimise the creasing. So I'm just looking at what I could use on here. That's quite nice, bit of lace trim. And often doing this through all the boxes takes time. This is another trim that I really like. This was given to me by a friend. That one. So I'll keep that one out. And then I've got other boxes. I like to put ribbon here, this bit here is a channel. I'm going to feed ribbon through there at some point. But that's not to say that I want them all the same. But yeah, I mean, I'm already beginning to think I shouldn't have started this video because it just takes me so long even to find the bits. Let me look in one of my other boxes. Look at this one. See, now that's really nice, that edge. I really like that. I might use that. That's like the edge off a bonnet, an old bonnet. It's like a little curve of something. I could use that. That's very lovely. This is one of those things that you buy and you use it. You think, oh, I've not got much of that left. It's like precious. Try and keep hold of that. That's a nice piece. I'll keep that out. I mean, I've kept it all for a reason, but I like some of it more than others. That's another little bit of like silk ribbon. I might put that in there. Let me get another box. I'm doing this really speedily because of the video, so I might not even get it pieced properly. But I'll just play with it a little bit because I don't want you to be here for hours. All kinds of lace bits and things in here. So much stuff, and I've got more. I've got more in other things as well throughout the house. Let me look. I'm not really a big fan of this. It's kind of like too new, machine made. What else have I got? That's quite nice. I mean, if I cut that at a certain point, that might be quite nice. Right, so I'll go with them for now. I'm going to have to press them before I put them on. Some of the lace, you have to be careful when you're pressing it in case it doesn't like the iron. So I'll put something on top of there while I press it. I'll use one of these. It's like this is a napkin thing. Press this lace. Being very careful not to get the iron on there. Right, so that's pressed. Just should have put that down. First, see, these are the kind of decisions. Now I've got the lace impression on there. So I'm not minded to put that first because I could probably have something coming from under there. So if I cut it the right size anyway, at least I know it's pressed, the piece I can use. These will be caught in the seams, these outer edges, so it doesn't really matter what they're like. So let's have a look. I want something substantial first. I need to spray that. It's very, very creased. Very, very creased. Let's have a look. But again, I'm loath to use it all because I love it and they'll be gone. So if I cut it there, okay, put that there. It's extending beyond the outline so that it's caught. Now, you might think, look at that edge, this one that's going to be visible, but that can easily be encrusted with French knots, or it might even end up with something laid on top of it. Get some of this. And I'm not a big fan of the middle either. I try not to put things central, obviously central. Let's have a look at this. Put that on there, maybe. I'll be putting pins in a minute. Now I have a board that I try and slip under when I'm pinning, but it's not always practical because everything is so much stuff on my ironing board. I'm on my ironing board, by the way. So I'll just try and lift it up and pin it, and then obviously I'm going to baste it before I start embroidering on it. It's easy to get straight with this fabric because of the dots, which is good for me because I'm rubbish at straight lines. So if I do that for now, I mean, temporary, honestly, trust me, I could well change my mind before this is finished. Right, so And then I've still got that other bit. Where did I put it? That I ironed there. But I don't think I'm ready to put that down yet because just leave it there for night. Might inform. Now this, I love this. I love it. But like I say, when it's gone, it's gone. Let me get this back. And it's so hard to find this kind of stuff now. You can buy it on Instagram. A lot of people sell a lot of beautiful stuff on Instagram, but I'm never quick enough. It's whoever puts me please first, and I'm never quick enough. Honestly, I'm rubbish. I feel like would that work? Then we've got our central area, but don't forget I've got this lovely blue thing here. This lovely blue edge with a bit of blue. I don't worry about they're not raw edges as such. They've been pink and sheared. Be careful where I'm ironing here. They've been pink and sheared, so don't worry about them if they're like that, because I know that I can. I'm going to have to move over here, probably you can't see. I know that I can cover them with ribbon or stitching or, you know, something else. So I think I might have this coming out of there. If I cut it about here and tuck it under there, I do like that, it's lovely. Then I've only got this area and I'm minded to put something down there, so maybe this. I'm going to have to move all this over here so I can press this without it being in the way. Let's have a look. Oh, and I've got that as well. I'll forget that. Put that over there. I'll press this before I cut it. Might not be long enough. You might think, blimey, that's a bit of all raggy stuff, and it is, but it's very much usable. Oh, and then I know what I want to do. So this, I'm sorry that this is taking so long. So I'm going to cut round there. Right. And then cut down this line. Let me see how long we are. Sorry about the sirens, I don't know what's going on out there. I live in a very quiet place normally. Can you hear them? I live near the motorway though, so that might be what's going on. Well, not near the motorway, but on the road to the motorway. Where are we? Right, and there. See how long we are. It could come out of there to there. Right, so I'll cut down there. I hope you haven't fell asleep. Now I need to cut this off here. Now the other thing you might have seen, if you look at my YouTube channel, I went shopping recently in London and bought some couture fabrics. I explain on there, they're very expensive, but you're allowed, this particular shop allows you to buy minimal. So for example, I bought something that was £150 a metre, but I only bought 10 centimetres of it, so it only cost me £15, and you'll see that I only use a very small amount, so it lasts me a long time. I mean, that you can't see that, can you? Let me just, well, honestly, I create such a mess. Right, so here we are. So that's gone down there. Okay. Now I quite like, I really regret using that, it's creased as anything. So this fabric that I bought, this one in particular, This is the one with £150 a metre, and I bought 10 centimetres, and you do get a lot. You get 10 centimetres of the whole width of the roll. So I want to put a little bit of this on here, but I will say to you that if you're using something like this, it's beaded, okay, don't use your good scissors. Do not use your good scissors, because you don't want to be cutting through beads with your good scissors. So I'm using old scissors, and I only use a very small amount, okay. Take this off the edge. So I'm thinking this space, now to me, I'm not quite a fan of plonked, if you know what I mean, something just stuck on there, but I think because it's so special, it doesn't look out of place, just placed randomly as a cut piece of something. So if I just cut this there, and then up there, I can lay that on there. To me, that doesn't look out of place. I think it's nice. I've got some on there, look, and there, yeah. And I've also got this other stuff here. This was, I'm not sure how much this one was. I can't remember, £50 a metre, and again I got 10 centimetres. This one. I've got a little tab of it there, so I'm wondering if I can do that here. Cut it down there again with old scissors, because there's glittery stuff and everything in here. You don't want to be using your good scissors for that. So fold over like a little tab, and that might go, I wonder if, no, that can stay there, that might go there, although then that's too close to that, so I might, no, maybe not. See, this is what I mean, always changing my mind, always. So this, maybe, I mean, I don't have to use it to be honest, but under there maybe, yeah. So that's it, so that's what I do, and that's how I do it, and as you can see, it is time consuming. Nothing's pinned yet, well some of it is, but then it all needs to be pinned, and then basted, and then embroidered, okay. So that's what I do and how I do it, and I'm sorry it took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I hope you stuck around to the end.